Calls for humanitarian support for civilians in Gaza are getting louder. There isn't enough fuel to run overcrowded hospitals, and people are desperate for a steady supply of clean water and food. Humanitarian agencies have repeatedly called for a pause in fighting so they can address some of these issues. The World Health Organization, for one, has warned that damage to water and sanitation infrastructure could lead to a public health catastrophe. While UNICEF says deaths from dehydration are a growing concern, particularly for children and infants. With much of Gaza's already limited usual freshwater supply sources in precarious conditions, health reporter Katherine Ward explains what happens when a safe supply of water is not readily available.
Air temperature, humidity, and a person's own level of exertion all affect how quickly people start to feel symptoms when they don't have access to enough clean water.
People need access to water every day. They need access to several liters of water per person.
The effects set in within hours. Experts say a person will start sweating, feel thirsty, and if water isn't consumed, become dehydrated. That is a serious health threat.
At that stage, you're starting to feel really unwell. You might start feeling lightheaded. You're going to feel extremely thirsty at this point. People will start drinking whatever water is at hand. It doesn't matter if it's clean or not. Beyond 3 days, you're going to be very unwell. At this point, your kidneys aren't able to really retain much more fluid, so your urination will basically stop. At that point, the body starts shunting blood to more critical organs like your brain and your heart.
Access to clean water in Gaza has been an issue for years, with its aquifer contaminated with sea and wastewater.
People will drink this dirty water, get exposed to the dirty water, get infections, and those are the things that will kill people at much higher numbers than just absolute dehydration.
The UN says many desalination plants can't run without power or fuel amid Israel's siege, and doctors say drinking salt water is a threat.
People have a concentration of salt in their blood of about 3%. Salt water is about 3.5%. And that little bit of difference is really important because you can't drink salt water and retain more water from drinking than you pee out, so you actually lose water.
And so the calls grow louder from agencies including the World Health Organization and Doctors Without Borders for a sustained humanitarian corridor.
We're hearing of people spending hours looking in shops for bottled water, searching for access to drinking water wherever they can find it.
A struggle with no clear end in sight for civilians caught in the conflict. Katherine Ward, Global News.